This is PsychOpinion. And now, here is Jake and the crew with this special Shark Week episode.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to PsychOpinion. This is a very, very, very special week I've been waiting for. It's Shark Week. Woo!
Woo!
Yeah. Thank you, Rob. At least somebody got in there.
Let's talk about sharks.
We're going to talk about sharks, baby. Jaws is one of my favorite movies of all time. So I've always enjoyed shark movies. They're very exciting to me. I don't know why. I really couldn't even say. I don't have any weird childhood shit or anything. I just love shark movies. A lot of suspense built up, and I don't know. Sharks are just badass. They're freaking badass, Steve. Anyway.
I would agree.
So I was going to start off with some interesting facts here about sharks, and then work our way into the movie side of sharks. So fact one is that female sharks tend to be larger than male sharks, and that's across the whole, multiple species of sharks. That's
multiple species in general. A lot of...
yeah.
Yeah. No, you're...
Yeah. There's always the weird thing. It's like a lot of female in species seem to be bigger, especially in the shark world here. And usually the men...
Probably because they have the babies.
Might be because they have the babies. But you'd also think big, strong men, which is not the case in a lot of the animal world. However, and with birds, usually the men are prettier.
Mm-hmm.
But they can attract the larger females.
All I could think of was Nathan Lane in The Birdcage when you said men are prettier.
Yeah. What is it? Is cardinals in particular I'm thinking about. Peacocks too, aren't male peacocks very pretty?
Yeah, their plumage is a little bit more extravagant.
They have excellent plumage. Thank you, Rob. That's a great way to put it. Out of the known, that's a great word. Out of the known species of shark, only 20 are known to attack humans. Pretty. So think about that the next time you're afraid to take a swim in the ocean. Only 20. Anyway, a shark's...
Man, I used to have a big thing for anything ocean related. I would only walk out to about my hip height. Yeah, just because I always had this thing about an eel or something. I had actually had an eel wrap around my leg in the ocean one time, and I thought it was seaweed because there was a ton of seaweed, and I went and grabbed that thing, and it just kept on wrapping around my leg even tighter, and that was enough of that crap. So,
damn,
I have not been much of an ocean dweller since then.
Mm-hmm.
Now you just wear the shirt.
Yeah, now I represent a different way.
Just
right.
Going in.
It's all about the fashion now.
Your beach life consists of just the beach, not the water.
Yeah, this is my plumage right here, buddy.
Well, I'm going to be honest. As far as my beach love or love of the ocean goes, is really limited kind of mostly to I like being on a boat. I like deep sea fishing and stuff, but I really don't like the beach very much. I can't stand wicked hot sand on my feet.
Yeah.
I hate getting a burn. No matter how much I put on me, I get a burn. And quite frankly, I think even salt water is kind of obnoxious. I mean, if we're being real about things.
Obnoxious.
It's a little obnoxious. It's kind of it's very aggressive as far as water goes, being so salty. But the sharks love it, and that's what we're here for, is the sharks. It's all about them today. So a shark's bite can generate 40,000 pounds per square inch of pressure.
That is
a lot.
Yeah, pretty massive.
Shark teeth are covered in fluoride, so in a way, they kind of have their own built-in toothpaste.
Cool.
Anybody know that?
Nope. Did not know that.
It's also why their teeth are so good at catching prey, because fluoride allows their teeth to remain strong and sharp. The great white has more than 300 razor-sharp teeth in its mouth. And when gray nurse sharks are born, the first baby shark to develop consumes its siblings as they hatch. Wow, that's intense. That is really like, bird type right there. If you're not born first, you're food.
Yeah, that's wild.
Wow. Anyway, so moving on, we've got plenty of shark facts, and then we'll get on from there. Great white sharks eat around 11 tons of food each year. In comparison, an adult human eats around a half a ton. That makes sense. I mean, they're gigantic, but 11 tons. Wow, that's a lot. Sharks actually have an excellent memory. A study shows that sharks remember up to 50 weeks prior. They selected the same shapes that they had chosen in the study when it first was conducted. Maybe they just like that shape. I don't know about that. Like, how do you really? I'm sure that there's experts that know these things, but that seems kind of crazy that you can actually test the memory of a shark.
Yeah.
But if that's true, however, if that's true, though, I will say that they remember better than I do.
Yeah. Me too.
I do not remember. I would not remember what shape I picked 2 weeks earlier, much less 50. Then again, if it's like a circle or a square, I might be able to figure that one out.
Was the shark picking a shape like this? Like a human swimming or something?
It doesn't actually.
I'd like to see that test.
But it would be, if it was like an octagon and a shape of a seal or something,
What's that floating above me? Is it a seal or a surfboard?
A blue shark can carry up to 135 pups at once. The pups can range in length from anywhere between 16 to 20 inches, and usually litters consist of around 25 to 50 pups. The gestation period ranges from around 9 months to 12 months. That's pretty wild. There are, and remember earlier when we said there was only 20 species of sharks that attack humans, there are actually 440 different species of sharks, so that puts that into perspective. Very small percent of sharks attack humans if you're thinking, 20 versus 440. There's also 8 different classifications based on physicalities. I don't have those classifications in front of me, but I can't do everything for you. Great white sharks found off the coast of Seal Island in South Africa will jump 10 feet out of the water to attack unsuspecting seals.
Wow.
Hammerhead shark babies usually have soft heads when they're born.
Okay.
Sharks are colorblind, so they're not picking colors, they're picking shapes. Unless there's different shades of gray, I guess.
So the great white shark is not racist, is what you're telling me? That's good to know.
It's not. Everything is gray. So, I'm pretty sure Samuel L. Jackson swimming next to you guys are probably different shades of gray. But,
Possibly.
The epaulet shark can use its fins like legs to walk when the tide is too low to swim. That's kind of cool. I want to see a video.
Yeah.
See if I can find a video add it to this.
Let me pause you there for a second. I have seen, and I don't know if it's because it is Shark Week, but I've seen so many shorts on washed up sharks on the beach. Have you guys seen any of those lately? Like, I've probably seen 10 videos of sharks that are completely beached. And these idiots that are like 3 or 4 guys while somebody else is recording. One guy's got the back tail, one guy's got the side fin, and they're trying to pull it back out into the water. The whole time this shark's like, I'm going to bite you and take your arm off once I get back into deep enough water. It's a very, very strange thing that these people continue to try to help these sharks without. One of them even pulled one back into, it looks like it might have been like a loading dock area for boats. And it was a narrower area. This guy's in the water. It had been 8-10 feet deep, pulling this shark back out into the water. I'm thinking, at what point in time is that shark going to say, okay, I might be hungry?
Yeah.
Very strange.
That's what I was just thinking. If you're pulling him into the water, that means that you're going into the water, and that's where he has the advantage if he does want to chunky. That's not right. I don't know. I would want to help a shark, but I also feel like it's a good time to have shark steaks made.
Yeah.
I really like shark. I don't know if you guys have ever eaten shark, but shark is delicious. It's kind
It's
like more of a consistency of like steak, kind of. It's more kind of firm like a steak than it is like salmon or regular fish like that.
Right.
Me personally, I'm a fan. I like mine with a little bit of Asian seasonings and juices. Anyway, back to it. If a shark embryo develops teeth, it will partake in an intrauterine cannibalism. Pretend I said that word properly. Intrauterine cannibalism, meaning it will eat its siblings inside the womb. Okay, so not only do some of these sharks eat their siblings when they're born, but some of them are eating them in the womb. Which I think I've heard of that though. Like, haven't some twins like enveloped another in the womb for humans too? I think that's like a thing, right?
I think I've heard of that. I don't know if it's really a real thing, but I have heard of that.
I've not heard of eating another sibling, but I've heard of absorbing part of them,
that's
into their. Yeah. Yeah.
So what do they absorb? Do they like absorb them into themselves until they become a birthmark or something? Like what does that look like? I mean, or does it not look like anything?
I mean, it can vary, but I mean, they can be something as small as like a birthmark, or something within. Like I've heard of fetuses with an extra lung, or whatever it might end up being. A lot of times it's some sort of a growth, like a large cyst or abnormality. Because the stronger of the two fetuses take over and really do its best to develop, and use the other one as kind of food, but not through eating with teeth, but just absorbing the I guess the nutrients of the other fetus. But it's pretty wild.
That would be a weird power to have. Imagine it if you had the power to absorb things. I mean, it might be cool in some ways, but like in other ways, it's like, you fall in love and then you can't like really like touch your love because you're weird. Or is that romantic? I don't know. Is it romantic or is it bad? I don't know. Is it bad?
It's tragic.
It's like,
don't matter how romantic it is, it's just tragic.
I feel like if Shakespeare was into sci-fi, he would have written that. Anyway.
Well, it's like in the Marvel movie there with what is it? Jubilee. She can't touch somebody.
That's Rogue.
Like she absorbs all their power or something. Or
I think Rogue is the one.
Rogue. That was it. Rogue. Yeah. So
didn't she win?
Star-crossed lovers between her and Gambit.
That's it. Gambit. That's right.
Who's
read a book, y'all?
Read a book. These are comic books.
It's still a book.
Like, read a book. You don't know about superheroes. Anyway, and watch the X-Men cartoon. The Uncivilized.
READABO. Okay.
This is kind of reminding me a little bit of this show that I've started watching. It's an older show, but it's Bruce Campbell, and he's doing like a quiz show type thing called Last Man Standing. Have you guys seen that?
No, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well,
and it's an older show?
Yeah. I think it's 2014.
That's not old.
But I just found it. Well, it's relatively old now. And I just found it and started watching it, and it's got a lot of questions about like superheroes, Marvel, DC. It has a lot of like horror movie questions too. Of course, I got most of those right. Not so much the superhero.
Rob would have gotten the superhero ones because he reads books. Maybe we should go. Maybe we should go do a trivia night one night, and we can all take different topics and Rob can be our bookhorn when it comes to the superhero questions.
Yeah.
So the bull shark is able to survive in fresh water. And this one is interesting because I don't know if you guys have seen it or not, but I've seen some of the Shark Week videos where they're talking about how they're starting to actually have almost like, it seems like there's going to be like territorial wars almost between like the gators and like the panhandle and like the freshwater, because a lot of the gators are actually heading towards the saltwater and a lot of the sharks are headed into the freshwater, and they're kind of meeting in the middle. And that's really interesting. So,
have like a West Side Story shark version where they're
I kind of hope so. I think that I could leave this world a happy man if I ever saw that. I mean, that would be amazing. Many sharks found in the depths of the ocean make their own flashlights via bioluminescence.
Cool.
They use specialized cells found in their skin. Sharks can create soft blue-green light. Before a 2021 study, bioluminescence had been discovered in only about a dozen species of sharks. But now, the list is growing. Exciting. In its lifetime, a shark can have up to 30,000 teeth that are continuously being replaced and shifted within their mouths.
Nope. Always growing back.
Whale sharks can live to be 100 years old. The female shark pregnancy can range from 5 months to 3.5 years, depending on the specific species. Holy shit, can you imagine being pregnant for 3.5 years? I would not want to be the shark husband to that shark wife who was pregnant for 3.5 years, because I have known women who, after 7 months, just want to kill you every time you open their mouth. Sharks can store food in their stomachs for months. Sharks have been in existence for over 400 million years. I think we knew that. Sharks are pretty prehistoric. They explained that in the Meg or something.
Yeah, and this new, what is it? Oh, crap. It's one of these Life on Our Planet type movies on Netflix or series. They're talking about how sharks have gone back like over 1 billion years. Like they've been, who knows, with the carbon dating and all the other stuff that they use to figure out how long something's been around for, how old it is. But there has been a number of changes in species and shapes and sizes of sharks in that TV series. It's a really cool one to watch. One of the sharks looked like it has like chiclet teeth, like buck teeth. It was really pretty wild because they were eating more like crustaceans and things at the bottom of the ocean after one of these cataclysmic events. So there wasn't a whole lot of fish or other food, and they had to like crack open shellfish and other stuff, and they had like these really huge buck teeth. Pretty wild.
So they had to like evolve.
Yeah, there's been a ton of evolution in sharks from what I've seen in that show.
Well, shit, they've been for what did I just say, 400 years?
400 million years, but yeah, it could be even longer than that. Like I was saying, I've seen a ton of videos for sharks, and I've also seen a bunch for like alligators and crocodiles too, which are crazy. Like people intentionally putting their forearm into the mouth of a crocodile.
Intentionally?
Like intentionally.
Like,
exactly. What's the point? Like, okay, best case scenario is it doesn't bite you and nothing changes from when like you could have just not put your arm in there. There's no win at all, right? The other thing is he could rip your arm off or take you into the pool for a little midnight swim. So I have no idea why people are doing that crap.
Are they doing it just to get like likes or something? Is this
I think so. I mean, it's like, what's his face there? The jackass guy, like just, jumping into a thorn bush naked or something just for the sake of views.
Like Johnny Knoxville, Bam Margera, the whole
Johnny Knoxville and
thing.
Steve-O, yeah, those idiots. But yeah, there was a video. It's not sharks, but they're at like this. I don't know what it's called. Now, what's an estuary? That's for
Estuary?
Estuary?
yeah. Is that for fish
like
and
marsh.
for other wildlife? It's like a wet area though, right?
Yeah.
No, what I was about to tell you was very important. It's that some female sharks retain sperm in their bodies after mating and will use it to reproduce later on. Now that is a skill. Yes,
Like
they got
old-
like sperm.
Old sperm.
Yeah, it's like old sperm.
Old stale sperm.
Yeah, they got some old stale sperm sitting up in there, and they have, they can
Ooh,
use
I'm
it when
gonna
they
hold
want.
on to this bad boy.
Yeah.
I mean,
With any luck, this will last 3.5 years.
if you think about it,
Save this for next time.
if you think about it, if our whole point of being on Earth as creatures is to reproduce, that's a pretty sharp skill. Just saying.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah, and if our whole point is to reproduce, it's very strange that there are creatures that ensure to the best of their ability that there won't be reproduction by eating all of their womb mates, we'll call it.
Oh, yeah.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah, there's I'm gonna kind of skip through real quick so we don't spend too much time on all of this, but some of the things are kind of interesting. Like it talks about a shark's that they have a highly evolved sense of hearing, which is really interesting because when you watch shark movies, you're kind of like, how the hell do they hear, people on the boat or whatever it is? It allows them to hear low frequency sounds from up to 1/4 of a mile away. Sharks can be introverts or extroverts. Sharks are one of the slowest species to reproduce. There's a lot of shark reproducing facts here. I guess a lot of what you want to know about sharks is that they eat a lot. The tiger shark is one of the most dangerous to us because they are considered the garbage cans of the ocean, eating anything.
Their preferable mating style is sharky style. Just so you know, sharky style is the way they like to do it.
Really?
I read about that somewhere. Yeah.
Did you?
No.
So I'm going to say this to lead into the next thing. The odds of getting attacked and killed, I say that again, by a shark are 1 in 3,748,067.
But quite a few people get injured, right? I mean, not like a lot, but
yes,
more.
We're talking about shark deaths.
Yeah.
So that leads me into talking about how coconuts are more dangerous than sharks. Because,
like getting into one or having one fall on your head?
Well, it says here fallen coconuts kill 30 times more humans annually than sharks.
I believe it.
So that shark number that you've got, Jake, is that based upon a percentage of people that get in the water? Because obviously I'm not going to be eaten by a shark tonight. So if it's like the quantity of people on Earth versus how many people die per year, and then there's a division of that, it's not really a fair number. Do they state how they come up with that percentage?
Steve, first off, Steve, you're not going swimming in the ocean tonight, but is there a coconut in your house?
I think what Rob is crudely saying is what I was about to say is the fact that are the facts based then on how many people walk under coconut trees?
Mm-hmm.
I think basically what they're saying is that 30 people die of coconut hitting them in the head a year, and so many people die of shark attacks a year.
Right. I get it.
Yeah, I think that's what we're trying to say.
Of all the causes of death,
Mm-hmm.
these are the numbers, so it's this amount of percentage likely to happen.
Well,
yeah, I bet the percentage is a lot different, but the numbers are higher.
I mean, it says that humans kill 100 million sharks every year. So, I mean, we definitely have the upper hand, and it's kind of sad if you think about it that way. I feel like they probably should take out some more of us.
Wow. Yeah, that seems high. 100 million a year?
100 million.
Get that shark thing
100
too.
million sharks a year. Experts have said humans kill an estimated 100 million sharks every year.
Wonder how many of
Wow.
those are intentional versus getting caught up in fishing nets and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe they're counting even if we like get a pregnant shark and we end up eating the sperm sac. I don't know. I mean, that's a lot of sharks if you think about it. How many? Never mind. Not even going there. So other ways that you, God, I really go to some strange places. When we have this
Intrusive thought did not win that time.
yeah, let's not do that. All right. So other ways, and this is leading us into this here. So other ways that you're more likely to die than a shark encounter is accidental poisoning, air travel, Jen's mom, boating, cars, champagne cork, constipation, contracting an infection in a hospital, cycling, excessive cold, falling, fireworks, food poisoning, hunting, a jet ski, a lawnmower, a ladder, lightning strikes Rob,
Ooh,
a rip current,
almost
rock
happened
climbing.
tonight.
Yeah.
The sun is more likely to kill you than a shark. Skydiving, a
Cancer?
tornado, a train, tanning beds, and water. Those things are all much more likely to kill you than a shark. If
So
you'd like
some
me
of
to
those
explain
are-
any of those, I have
Yeah.
stuff here.
Is some of those like skin cancer? Because you said the sun and tanning beds.
An estimated 60,000 deaths each year worldwide are caused by too much sun exposure to ultraviolet radiation.
So like skin
People
cancer.
wearing their Icarus wings.
hmm
Yeah.
I mean, the sun kills people in many ways. I mean, if you're like trapped out in the desert and you just kind of cook in the sun, I mean, I don't know. That's kind of like a grab bag there. Was it dehydration? Was it being burnt to death? Was it exposure to the sun? Was it, probably mostly skin cancer, I guess. It's a cute way of saying
It sounds
skin
like
cancer.
anything will kill you faster than a shark will, is what it sounds like. Death by
Well-
peanut butter sandwich. I think
Fireworks,
that-
the champagne corks, constipation. I mean, there's some constipation. It says that
Back
let's
to
see
that.
here. 900 Americans die annually from diseases associated with or related to constipation.
Is diarrhea a killer or just constipation?
Just constipation on this one. Now, the champagne cork, one study estimated that around 24 humans die each year in France from incidents involving champagne corks. So I guess
Just
that's
in
specific to France. They drink a lot more champaign in France, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, the
I think
champagne.
they might be doing other things with that
is in
bottle
France.
to kill themselves. I don't know. A
I mean-
champagne cork is going to kill somebody.
More than a shark. Or more likely than a shark, at least.
If I ever open up a bottle near you, Steve, I'm just aiming it at you. Be prepared.
Yeah.
Well, I
So
was
if there's
thinking-
ever a champagne bottle in the ocean with like a note in it, you just get the hell out of the way, buddy, because
You're like, what's going
There's
to
a
get
good
me
chance
first,
you're going
the
down.
champagne cork or the shark?
that's right.
Maybe. Okay, so check it out. You're floating in the ocean. You see a bottle of champagne. There's a note in it. You're like, what's in the note? I don't know. What happens next? Shark rolls up. Shark grabs a champagne bottle, opens up the cork, it flies out, hits you in the temple, you die. Now, is that a shark death or is that a champagne death?
It's a very unlikely death because there's not actually champagne in it. You said a note's in it, right?
Oh, yeah.
You
but
gotta,
what if the
you gotta
cork-
have that
Oh,
force.
Okay. Okay, so
Come
Steve's
on.
note theory. There's a bottle of champagne floating in the ocean
Okay.
next to you. You can't quite reach it, but you want to drink that champagne. A shark rolls up. He's trying to help you, actually. He's like, man, you look thirsty. Let me open the champagne. Pops that shit open. Cork hits you in the temple. You die. What caused your death? The shark or the cork?
Alcoholism.
I'm going to say coconut
The
because
shark was only
while
there
you were
because you
while
lost
you were
your
bleeding
rum
to
can.
death of a head injury, you came up with the craziest idea of how you could and would die, but you died by coconut impact. So
I
I
mean,
think that's what happened.
I was talking to a guy at work today, and he said that he was watching some Shark Week, and they said that you were more likely to be killed by a vending machine than a shark.
A vending machine. Getting
I
your
mean, I
hand
don't
Now,
have
out.
that
here's
kind of
Trying to get some
Like
free
I want to
stuff.
take the ante up
like
on
it's
this.
falling
down.
on you.
Yeah.
It's okay.
A vending machine falling over? They're heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
I
you
mean,
got to be really wow.
I mean, people
So
that are
if you
gonna
took a
fight,
coconut,
people that are
if you
fighting
took
a
a
vending
coconut
machine.
and
Hold on.
threw it, go ahead, Jake. Go ahead.
At a
People that
champagne bottle.
If there is a man that is willing to fight a vending machine for a bag of chips, chances are he's probably pretty big too. Just saying. Let's be honest. You're not going to really see a skinny guy flipping out over a bag of chips like you probably would a heftier guy like myself. I'd fight a vending machine for a bag of chips, and that might fall on me. Anyway, sorry, Steve. I didn't mean to take away from
No,
the
you're
coconut
fine.
thing, but
My question would be: is if somebody throws a coconut at you, is that assault with a deadly weapon? Because if it kills that many people, I don't
I
know.
don't know if it'd be assault with a deadly weapon, but I definitely think there'd be some intent involved. I mean, like, I don't know, when he threw that, you knew that it could hit him in the head, and it is statistically proven that coconuts kill people. So
That's true. Yeah, I do think somebody has been trying to constipate me for quite some time, though. Figure out who.
Well, I was going to move on to movie facts, but if I don't know if Rob wants to be here for that. In the meantime,
maybe just give him a minute. Yeah.
Well, in the meantime, let's talk about the USS Indianapolis. Do you guys know about this incident? This is the largest attack of humans by sharks in our known history. The USS Indianapolis was actually the ship that brought the bombs over that they dropped on Nagasaki and Hiroshima. And when the ship was returning, the ship actually was hit with a torpedo and it sank. And it put a ton of people, the initial survivors. So there was a total crew of 1,196 people on the ship. The initial survivors were 900, and they only saved 316. Now, that's not to say that all roughly 600 people were killed by sharks, but there was a great number. It was assumed that it was somewhere around, 400 or 500, I'm assuming, deaths. It was hard to tell because, I mean, obviously people were dying from other things, drowning, like that.
Yeah.
Right.
How did they know that
aggressive.
it was? How did they know it was the sharks?
Well, because 316 people survived and told the story, and they were
Yeah,
literally getting.
I saw some sort of documentary on that. I can't remember if it was an actual like a Netflix style thing or just a YouTube video, but I do remember seeing that not too long ago, maybe a year or so ago, and one of the survivors was talking about how it was just everybody was huddled together, holding on to each other, and just people were just getting pulled under one by one. And I can't imagine a worse way to die than to be plucked out of freezing cold water by sharks while you're staring at other people, knowing that you're probably next. That's got to be right up there with one of the worst ways to go.
Oh yeah, and on top of that, all these people will have worked together. They've been on the same ship. I'm sure there's a lot of relationships developed. You're watching your friends and coworkers just get dragged into the water one by sharks, not knowing if you're going to be next or if you're going to survive or if anybody's even on their way to save you.
Right.
I mean, it's insane. It was believed that oceanic white-tip sharks are the ones that were attacking many of the crew. So specifically those kinds of sharks. But yeah, it is definitely, from my understanding, the greatest recorded shark attack and shark attack tragedy in our history that we know of. So, also, ironically enough, to bring that into movies, that's also the same story because Quint in Jaws was actually a survivor. Obviously he was an actor, but he was acting. His character was a survivor of that ship wreck, and he was talking about it in Jaws. I don't know if everybody remembers the scene where they're all down in the decks and they're talking about their different injuries and everything, and then Quint gets really serious, kind of crazy, starts talking about his experience on the USS Indianapolis. So that's crazy. You guys should see more on that. It's very interesting. There's also for Rob here specifically, there's also a movie about the USS Indianapolis starring Nicolas Cage.
Oh.
Which I have. And you can borrow it. It's all right. I mean, it's just okay. But it's about this incident and it stars Nicolas Cage. So there's that.
Always down for Nicolas Cage.
I've got some shark facts and interesting things about TV shows and movies, which go and will lead us into talking about movies. So I'm not sure if you guys know this, but in the movie Jaws, one of my favorite movies, as we all know and have discussed, the main shark doesn't actually show up until an hour and 21 minutes into the film. I don't know if you guys knew that or not. And I think that that's really incredible that movie holds so much suspense and holds you. I mean, that movie has always been captivating to me. Is when I put it on, I mean, I love watching that movie. And it doesn't even occur to me that, they don't actually even see the shark until about an hour and a half through. So that's kind of interesting. That they were able to pull off that suspense and that kind of plot without us being like, where's the shark? It's like we don't even think about that. So the author of Jaws hosted the first Shark Week. So Peter Benchley was appropriately the first host of Shark Week, the writer of Jaws. Let's see. Shark Tale. The movie's original title was Shark Slayer. Doesn't sound very kid-friendly. Not as much as Shark Tale.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
Shark Slayer.
Oscar the Shark Slayer.
Yeah, I don't know. That's not quite as friendly. I don't know if my kids were like, I want to see Shark Slayer. I mean, I might think it's like, I'm going to watch that by myself later without you guys because I love a good shark movie. Then I ended up watching Shark Tale. So, King Shark and the Suicide Squad, Sylvester Stallone sympathized with King Shark. Sylvester Stallone was saying he's reaching out to people and he's constantly being rejected. So you have a great deal of sympathy for him. There's Suicide Squad right there, and that is the shark, King Shark.
King Shark.
I'm gonna be honest.
Nunaway is his name.
I love sharks, but that character seems kind of corny. I've never seen Suicide Squad, by the way, Rob. Maybe I should watch a movie. But
well, I mean, if you want.
I don't know. I just always heard it wasn't great.
Well,
you heard correctly.
This is the Suicide Squad, not Suicide Squad, the first one, which did bomb. This one is much better.
So wait a second. The Suicide Squad is part 2?
No, it's basically a different movie, completely different.
Oh. Well, it still has King Shark, and Sylvester Stallone sympathizes with him.
That's confusing, Rob.
Yeah, it's confusing. That's kind of why I moved on.
It's weird.
I was like, I don't even know.
But yet, Margot Robbie plays Harley Quinn in both of them. So
what?
I wonder which one I saw.
You saw the first one.
Probably.
Yeah, everyone probably saw the first one, which is the worst.
Will Smith was the Bloodshot or whatever, something shot.
Well,
Deadshot, yeah.
Sport, which I think was Idris Elba.
Yeah, which I thought was the same person. Not obviously as a human the same person, but I thought it was the same character. Strikingly similar. I didn't like that. I got to like the beach scene when everybody blew up, and then I was like, all right, this is silly. And not to mention the fact, as much as I enjoy seeing John Cena in a diaper and a toilet seat cover or whatever the hell he's got wearing in that movie, John Cena looks ridiculous as whatever character he is.
Yeah.
I didn't know John Cena was in the movie.
Yeah,
freaking movie.
He looks ridiculous. It looks like a parody of itself, which I think it might actually even try to be, because that's got to be the stupidest superhero outfit of all time.
That's like half the poll of the Suicide Squad. Is like they're all garbage throwaway characters, and
Mhm.
they messed up. They're in jail, like maximum security super jail, and this is their one chance to get out, and so they take it.
I thought the throwaway superhero squad was like Deadpool's squad in the movie Deadpool, where he's got like literally like the people with the worst abilities ever.
I
Isn't that like
thought
a guy that got
that
electrocuted jumping out of the plane?
Yeah, X-Force. No, X-Force usually.
No. In the Deadpool movie, he
Yeah.
collects the people, and one of them
Who
was
were
like,
all members of X-Force.
were they? Is that what that was? See,
Yeah.
I don't pay attention to the comic book movies as much. But I remember that scene was hilarious. I do remember that. Jen, what
Have
were
you
you about to
guys-
say?
Yeah. Have you guys ever seen Doom Patrol?
Yes, I love that show.
Yeah, I do
it's
too.
so good. It's so good.
I love it too. I'm not super into superheroes type stuff, but I do love Doom Patrol. And when you guys were talking about, like these group of like outsider kind of misfit superheroes, I immediately
that's-
thought of Doom Patrol.
I immediately thought of
that's the right
Mystery
one.
Men.
Yeah.
Does anybody
Pretty
remember
cool,
Mystery
maybe.
Men?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a while,
They-
but yeah,
they
I know
all-
it.
It's
That
been a
was- that
long
was fun.
time.
Does anybody remember Finding Nemo?
Of course.
Okay, because Bruce in Finding Nemo was actually named after the shark in Jaws.
Oh,
So that's a cool little nod right there. The Meg. The tidal shark is 75 feet long. Prehistoric shark is about 4 times the length of the modern great white shark. In the movie, the megalodon's fin is around 8 feet tall. Sharknado. The movie was shot in 18 days. It
I believe it.
shows. It shows. I don't feel like they put very much time into that.
what the f- is a Sharknado?
Do you remember tiger sharks? Not like a tiger shark, but do you guys remember tiger sharks? I got a black and white picture right here. It's a cartoon from our childhood.
Oh,
Oh.
I vaguely remember that.
Yeah. I think most of my friends are more street sharks, but that does seem
Yeah.
familiar.
Yeah, there was Street Sharks as well. Was voiced by the star of the Book of Mormon. Was Streaks. So
Like
that's
the musical,
no, yeah,
like Matt Stone, Trey
Yeah.
Parker.
yeah.
The
Before
other-
he became the
I
Tony
that-
Muschietti
that-
stage performer, the then teenaged Andrew Rannells voiced the rollerblading tiger shark Streaks on the show.
Dope.
So basically what the Tiger Sharks thing is, it's just talking about how it was a forgotten TV show because it was overshadowed by its larger cousins, the Thundercats and Silverhawks.
Oh yeah.
Thundercats,
Oh,
baby.
Yeah.
Don't-
Everyone's favorite.
So I guess you were either a
Don't
Thundercat
sleep on Silverhawks.
Silverhawk, or I remember
I never watched
Silverhawks.
that.
Oh, it was amazing.
I'd say Thundercats was still better, but I mean, I saw it. So
I love-
Shock.
All of it. I love all the shows.
I knew you would.
Yeah.
You seem like you would. No, I don't know what I mean by that. I think the audience knows it. Sharktopus. Roger Corman thought the movie's title and premise were too insane. When the Sci-Fi Channel contracted Corman about making this movie, he thought it was a bit too far out. And this was coming from Roger friggin' Corman. Luckily for cheesy movie fans, he changed his mind. And therefore, Sharktopus was born. You guys ever seen Sharktopus?
Nope.
I've
Me
seen
neither.
a picture of it.
You know I haven't.
Oh, speaking of which, by the way, I was going to say I actually saw, because I was watching some Shark Week stuff, John Cena is actually hosting a lot of the Shark Week stuff. They brought up John Cena.
That is-
So I wanted to go ahead.
That is correct.
So during the making of the movie The Shallows, everyone had to ride their bikes to set. Due to the various restrictions on the island location, the cast and crew had to ride bicycles to set and be incredibly mindful to not harm any of the wildlife. Interesting. Especially considering they kill a shark at the end of it, so just saying. Open Water, if anybody remembers this. The movie is based on an actual incident. In 1998, Tom and Eileen Lonergan disappeared during an expedition to the rim of the Great Barrier Reef. Their bodies were never found, but shark attacks were mostly ruled out as the actual cause of death. So it's based on a true event, but they're saying the sharks didn't do it, but they're saying in the movie that sharks did. Not confusing at all. Land Shark, Steve, was Chevy Chase's only original reoccurring character. While many SNL cast members have a few characters in their pocket for multiple sketches, Land Shark was Chase's only character that showed up more than once. Good thing he had the Weekend Update. Saying that because Steve was sending us a Land Shark. Jen?
It was me.
I seem like, whenever I see the really ridiculous shit, I always think it's Steve. We have a group chat, and it feels like a Steve sound.
Feels like a Steve thing. Okay, the past few things that I've sent, guys, has it been a Steve thing or has it been intriguing?
I mean, sometimes
A Steve thing. Don't answer. All right, shut up. Moving on.
Moving on. Deep Blue Sea. There's a Jaws Easter egg in Deep Blue Sea. A license plate removed from the shark's mouth is the exact same number and plate as the one removed from the tiger shark in Jaws.
That's cool.
You guys
Little
don't remember?
homage.
I love Deep Blue Sea. That's a great movie.
Oh,
So
my.
when what's his name takes the license plate out, it's the same license plate as Jaws. So Baby Shark. No one knows who wrote the song. While the Pink Fong adaptation got into the Billboard Top 100, that song was in the Top 100. Can you believe that?
Very
The
catchy.
song,
It's very catchy.
I mean, it's catchy, but it was in the Top 100. Wow.
Oh,
The song itself.
there was Crazy Frog back in the day,
Yeah.
and then
Crazy.
Axel
Crazy
F.
Frog. Ring, ding, 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 ding.
Oh, is that
No,
Crazy
don't do
Frog?
it, Rob.
I've heard that. I didn't know what it was. I thought it
Yeah.
was. No, there's the hamster dance.
There's that too. That never.
No,
made
you're
the
talking
top
about
100.
Nyan Cat.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stupid videos that go on forever.
Yeah, and then when TikTok started, they had there were once was the sailor
Oh, the
song.
sea shanty.
Yeah,
Oh.
the sea shanty song. I wonder if
Thought
any
you
of
were
those made it to the top 100.
I thought you were going to say, what does the fox say?
Oh, I wish
that was
Eliza
there
was
for a
here.
while,
Eliza
too.
was obsessed with that for a while. Remember that, Rob? That was great.
That makes perfect sense that she would.
Well, if you know her, you know. Anyway, the song itself emerged from summer camps, and no one knows who is exactly to blame for its origin. Armagon. Rob, do you know Armagon from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Adventures?
No.
Well, he was
That's
the one
weird.
that took Raphael's eye. He apparently is this mean-looking shark who took Raphael's eye.
Nice.
Oh.
He looks cool.
I mean, he's cool looking, yeah. I didn't know that he took Raphael's eye out, but I mean, yeah, around the giant shark, and that's gonna happen, I guess. So sharks with freaking laser beams on their freaking heads. The sharks with the freaking laser beams were planned.
I know what that's from.
Yeah, Austin Powers, baby.
Are they ill-tempered?
I believe they are, actually. Doesn't say
Sea bass.
sea bass. As life imitated art, there was no money in the budget for the special effects team to make them. After the series was a hit, they appeared in Goldmember. So they were planned for the very first movie, but they didn't have the budget to make the sharks with freaking laser beams on their freaking heads. Anyway, there's that. So that is all I've got for interesting facts and stories that I found about sharks. So at this point in time, we can talk about other shark-related things. Rob, I'd like you to start us off.
I don't really have too much. As in, not a thing. So
I didn't think you did.
that.
I didn't think you did. That's why I went ahead and put you on there.
You're like the teacher that calls on like somebody that didn't seem like they did their homework.
Like, Rob, what do you know about sharks, buddy?
I watched Deep Blue Sea.
Deep Blue Sea is really good.
The only thing that got me on that is like at the beginning of the movie when all the people are on the boat, a shark comes up through the center. Boats don't work like that.
Are you sure?
I mean, if a shark came up through the center, the boat would be completely destroyed at that point, and then they would have sank and then be eaten. But the boat didn't sink.
I just feel like
it's like physics don't work like that.
I just feel like if it's in Deep Blue Sea, it's got to be true.
I have something to add about Deep Blue Sea.
Please.
I thought that it was really weird at the beginning because, like, the first scene is like a couple and they're on the boat and they're having sex, which is, that's fine. That's
Were they?
a lot like a slasher movie. So
yeah,
were they having sex?
Crystal Lake, it's Deep Blue Sea.
Yeah, exactly. But my thing that I'm concerned about though, or that like made me think like, what the is
I like it when Jen's concerned.
Isn't that the one where they're like having sex or about to have sex, and a wine bottle?
Yeah, the wine bottle.
The wine bottle pours in.
But wasn't there four people on the boat? There's two couples.
Yeah, there's two couples.
Were they about to all have sex? Because I don't remember that.
I don't remember all of them, but
they weren't like.
They also dropped the tank in the ocean, and that was sad.
Yeah, they did.
So a wine bottle falls in, and that's when the shark attacks, right?
Well, the wine bottle doesn't fall in. A wine bottle ends up to where it's pouring out its wine into the water.
Yeah.
So wouldn't the shark know the difference between wine and blood?
That shark is a wino. Is the whole point behind it.
I don't know, but the shark is not stupid.
Yeah.
I mean, it had to be certain that it wasn't a champagne bottle first before it came up, because it didn't want to get killed either,
Yeah.
Well, you're not going to want to.
Be careful.
It would have been great if it was champagne.
I'm here to
shark
save you guys.
I want to see a shark get taken out by a cork from a champagne bottle. That's what I want to see.
I don't think they can, because shark skin is like it's almost like as rough as like sandpaper. It's like teeth on the outside almost. It's so. From what I understand, even like get cut up. Yeah, like sharks. That wasn't one of my facts I skipped because I wanted to get ahead, and I shouldn't have skipped it because then we would know. Like right now, we wouldn't even be saying this. We'd just be like, yeah, we knew that. But yeah, shark skin.
Sushi chefs will use dried up shark skin to grind wasabi.
Really?
From horseradish, yeah. And they say it works better than like any other means to do it. For like a lot of, or I wouldn't say a lot, but some people still make their own wasabi with shark skin, or using shark skin as a utensil to make it.
I mean, I like that. It's kind of like the Native American using all the, using everything from the animal kind of deal. I like that. And you remember in Deep Blue Sea, though, this is the best part, is that, who was it? That was LL Cool J, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And didn't he make a song for the movie where some part of it was like, my hand is like a shark fin or something?
I don't remember that.
I'm pretty sure this part was like, my hand is like a shark fin.
My head is like a shark fin.
Mama said, knock you out, shark.
Yeah, Mama said,
I don't remember
at all, but shark fin, that's where we draw the line. With LL Cool J. Anyway, I actually thought he was a really good actor in that movie. I actually have to applaud his efforts in that movie. Some of the rappers made pretty good actors. It's not a shark movie, but it just instantly brings me to Ice Cube with Anaconda. Like I really enjoyed him in that movie. Just thinking about the old school rappers and Animal Killer.
What was it? Ice-T played a mutant kangaroo.
No, he didn't. What?
Yeah, Tank Girl.
What? Oh,
Tank Girl.
Yeah. Oh, I love
totally
Tank
forgot
Girl.
about that.
I completely forgot that he was in it, though. It's been.
He's not a shark, but
yeah, he's kangaroo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
wow,
and there's some interspecies stuff going on too.
Mm-hmm.
But can they keep sperm forever and use it again?
Probably not.
Probably not.
What do they keep in those pouches?
So does anybody actually have a favorite shark movie that's not Deep Blue Sea or Jaws? I'm just curious. Like when you guys are like, I want to watch a good shark movie, what do you put on?
Well, I kind of go to the Meg, weirdly enough. Like, I thought that movie was going to be terrible. It's like, oh, what is Jason Statham doing running away from a shark?
You can run away from anything.
Yeah, but I waited till it came out on a streaming service and watched it. I was like, wow, this movie, I was expecting garbage, hot garbage. And it ended up being pretty fun. So I've watched that movie more than I would like to admit.
Yeah, probably. Dave, you were kind of shaking your head there. How do you feel about the Meg?
Well, the Meg, I think, is a dumpster fire. But the shark movie I was going to mention, and I watched the Meg, and I started watching the second Meg, which was about 20, 30 minutes in. I was just like, I can't. I'm going to go stand under a coconut tree. But what I really kind of liked was that movie, Sweetheart. I think it was on Netflix, and it's about a boat that capsizes and a bunch of people end up on this island, and only one woman ends up surviving, and she's a younger girl, and to cut out all the bullshit between, there ends up being like a humanoid shark creature that keeps coming up onto the beach at night, and there's like this little tunnel, like this hole, maybe 30, 40 yards back into the ocean, where this thing goes back in and goes down into like a little burrow or something. It's a good watch. I liked it a lot, and Rotten Tomatoes gave it like a 90 something, so they liked it too. Yeah, it was pretty cool watch. But I think it was called Sweetheart.
So, is there like a relationship? Like they kind of get together? You say that he kind of turns into a man, right?
No, so she washes up on this beach, and it's kind of like an island out in the middle of nowhere, and she's trying to collect like suitcase clothes and shoes and a bunch of other stuff. Dead bodies from the remaining group that she was with are showing up on shore, so she's burying them in the sand and taking their stuff. And then one guy ends up coming up onto shore, and he's alive, and so he spends like a night with her. And but the first night that she was there, she heard something kind of walking around through like the palm fronds and stuff, and she was worried that it was like a boar or some wild boar or something like that. And it wasn't until like another night or two down the road that one of the people that she buried got pulled off back into the ocean to be eaten. She realized that there was something after her, and the shark creature's pretty. I mean, it's a little bit cheeky, but it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool, and she's got to fight this damn thing on both the beach and in the water. So it's worth a watch for sure.
I feel like it's maybe it was like a spinoff of King Shark from the Suicide Squad, and he was there trying to eat people that she buried. Maybe something like that.
Don't know, but this one is worth a watch, and I recommend you guys, if you have time to see it, to watch it.
I just realized that Jen wanted to know if they like hooked up, and I think Jen just really wants some like shark interspecies banging.
Sweetheart.
Yeah.
After you asked that, I was like, man, Jen's really all about this interspecies shark banging tonight. What's going on with that? That's a little weird.
Yeah, the creature is like kind of sharkish and kind of like alienish looking.
Oh, yeah.
It's weird.
But it makes me think of.
I just Googled the movie, and there's like a bunch of pictures of this thing. It's friggin' cool, but it looks kind of like a hammerhead shark head.
If I'm gonna watch the movie, I don't think I want to see the picture.
Okay.
Right?
Sure.
Wasn't that a lot of the excitement with like horror movies? Is the reveal? I mean, I feel like in horror movies, like that's what a lot of it is.
Yeah, usually.
It's that moment where you're like, "What the is this thing?" Sorry, Steve. What the is this thing? And then it just all of a sudden you're like,
"What in the world?" What in tarnation?
Okay.
Yeah, if you are serious about watching it, then yeah, don't look it up for sure. But I think you'd like it. I mean, it's a little slower. It's almost like a Castaway type of movie in the beginning. But yeah, I think you guys would like it.
Hey Rob, the beginning's really slow, dude. You should check it out.
Oh, dope! I'm already watching it.
And there's sand.
I got
it is
I'm watching.
it is slow and there's sand. So that's like right up your alley there.
Any type of walking shark, I immediately think of were sharks. The Rokea from Werewolf the Apocalypse. So there's a whole thing with different types of transformations, just like werewolves, but from full shark to half man, half shark. Yeah.
So
that would be really cool. That would be really cool if, like, you did get bit by a shark and there was such a thing as pair of sharks. You turned into one.
Only in the high tide on a full moon.
Yeah.
So what half is the man? The legs?
Well, I mean, like, they can grow legs and arms, or they can, have fins and all that. It depends. There's like 4 or 5, 6 different forms.
You ever notice that with these creatures, when they, like, in horror movies or movies in general, when these creatures do form into, like, dual creatures, it's never like, well, I don't know if it's never, but it's usually not like the bad parts. Like, you're not going to see like a shark with a big dopey human face on it, like that's not how they're going to play it out. It's going to be like a shark with legs. I don't know. I just was thinking about that. You never see like the dopier part of like a mixture. Like the mixture is never like it doesn't work out for the creature. Like they have the bad parts of both things. They should make a horror movie where like 2 creatures mix and it has the bad parts of both things.
Yeah, it's like a reverse centaur. There's little human legs walking around with this horse with goof hands.
Like, oh, I'd kill you if I could do something about it. He's got a goofy human face and like shark fins and like, I don't know. I feel like he's short like Danny DeVito somehow. Anyway, so this has been Shark Week. I love Shark Week. I love talking about sharks. I love shark movies. They all excite me. I think there was a new shark horror movie coming out too, wasn't there? That we were talking about the other day.
There's Under Paris, which is like a recent release.
Oh yeah, Sean was talking about Under Paris. That might have been what I was thinking about.
Yeah, that's the only one I know that has been made recently. I don't know of anything upcoming.
Yeah, I think there is one coming up, but I can't remember the name of it. So that doesn't help.
That does not help.
Did anybody watch Under Paris? Because I only saw the first 5 or 10 minutes.
Was it not good?
It wasn't that. It was just like I got distracted. I got into something else.
There wasn't enough interspecies shark sex for you?
I guess not. All I can remember from the first little bit that I did see was that there's trash in the water. And I remember thinking, wow, that trash is really pretty because it looks really clean and doesn't really look that much like trash. And it's just the way it's shot. I don't even know if it's real trash. It's like possibly CGI trash. It's like really pretty though. Like the way it's shot. It's like the lights.
Pretty trash.
It's probably the Seine River, which is
clean trash, possibly. Pretty trash?
It looks pretty neat. Like I said, I think it was the way it was shot, or it could have not even been real trash. I don't know.
Maybe you just like trash.
There's a plant.
So I got a question, guys. Have you ever heard, because Jake alluded to this earlier, and I know of it as a fact as well. What are they, bull sharks that end up coming into freshwater areas and sometimes hundreds of miles away from the ocean and set up shop in a river or lake, right? It's the bull shark that can live in fresh water.
Yeah, bull shark.
Have you guys ever heard of a bull shark being in any body of water around here?
No, not that I know of. I can't say
because I always. Okay, what was that show with what was his name? Jeremy Wade, the river monsters. Remember how they would always talk about, well, maybe it's a bull shark like that. They seem to always wanted to go to, it's possibly a bull shark before they find out what had been tearing, local kids in half at the watering hole. But I never had seen where it was actually a bull shark, but I wonder how often that actually happens where a bull shark does get into fresh water.
I mean, the show that I watched on it said that it was like they were literally coming up like the like in Florida and like the panhandles, that they were actually starting to see a lot of the bull sharks in that area, and vice versa. They were starting to see a lot of the gators going out towards the towards the ocean as well. So they were kind of sort of meeting in that area. I think it was like gator versus shark or something like that was the name of it. Something really generic and kind of silly.
Or maybe they'll mutate and then it'll be like a alligator shark.
Alligator shark.
Shark to gator.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty awesome. Well, anyway, if you guys want to go ahead, I think Steve's recommendation was Sweetheart.
That'll be mine.
Rob, did you want to recommend the Meg?
This one's for you, man. It's
Suicide Squad. Not Suicide Squad.
It's
The Suicide.
Suicide Squad.
Don't be confused, everybody. Don't be confused, Jen. It's the
Yeah.
Suicide Squad. And Jen, what were you gonna go with?
I mean, I don't like a whole lot of shark movies. It's not my thing. One of the ones that I watched, in case we were going to talk about it, was The Shallows.
Let's talk about
that. I mean, I don't have a lot of notes, so.
Talk about The Shallows, though. Like, go for it. That sounds cool.
No, it's okay. We don't have to talk about it.
I personally really enjoy The Shallows. Now, The Shallows is the one where like the shark gets killed. That's the one where she kills the shark in like the most epic way possible, right? At the end, is that the one I'm thinking about?
Was it an epic way? I'm trying to remember. I mean, there was a lot of stuff that happened before she killed it. I actually don't remember the killing part. That's pretty bad. I remember literally everything else but the actual killing of it.
Well, it was pretty awesome. You guys should check it out if you haven't, because I recall how it died, and I don't want to ruin it for everybody, or Jen even, because apparently she wasn't.
The one where she gets stuck out on the buoy?
Yes.
Like a flare gun? Okay.
Yes. Did she kill him with the flare gun? She might have.
No, not the flare gun. It was much cooler than that, but we'll let the audience.
I remember she makes friends with a seagull. little seagull, and she helps it and heals it because she was going to be a doctor. She had quit med school partially because her mom was dying, and then she did die, and I guess she's like questioning life. I think that's probably why I kind of liked it. I wouldn't say that I loved it, but I kind of liked the story, like the background, like everything that she went through, and she wants to like get closer to her mom's memory, I guess. So she goes out to that place because her mom went there a long time ago when she was pregnant with her. So yeah, I just kind of liked it. It's a little bit sentimental, I guess you would say. It's a sentimental shark story.
Sounds nice. Anyway.
I'm sorry, that story almost put me to sleep, Jen.
I'm gonna go with Requiem. I don't know. I just watched that one not too long ago, and it actually has who is in that movie Crush back in the day? She was like one of the hot girls.
Alicia Silverstone?
Yeah. She's like she's older, and Requiem has her in it, and I don't think she aged very well, but that's beside the point. It's a pretty interesting movie. They're staying in one of those places that you rent off the islands where you can kind of, it's like the houses that are in the water, kind of huts. And a bad storm comes and like pulls their hut out to the ocean, and then madness ensues. I thought it was pretty good. So you guys should probably check that one out. And then I'm going to go ahead and say we're going to need a bigger boat.
You've been listening to PsychOpinion. If it's anything horror, we're talking about it.